Protesters just threw a Jeff Bezos dummy into the Venice canal, and the internet is losing it. Venice erupts. Protesters mock Bezos with dummy and angry signs. A life-sized Jeff Bezos dummy thrown into the Grand Canal, now that's a protest. Billionaire weddings, private jets, a sinking city, and a public fed up. Do you think this marks a turning point in how the ultra-wealthy are perceived? Or just another viral moment the internet will forget in a week? Let's talk. It was supposed to be the billionaire fairy tale of the year. Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sánchez, madly in love and obscenely wealthy, were set to tie the knot in Venice, a city already known for its romance and luxury. But what happened on the water that day turned their fantasy into a public relations nightmare. Protesters didn't just shout or wave signs. No. They took things to a theatrical, almost surreal new level, by tossing a life-sized Bezos dummy straight into the Grand Canal. Clad in an Amazon warehouse uniform, the dummy clutched a cardboard box and handfuls of cash, as if screaming to the world, "This is who you really are." Images of the stunt exploded across social media. And just like that, what was supposed to be a glamorous, private wedding became a global flashpoint. How could you have an entire city protesting your presence and not have that lead to some serious self-reflection? One viral post asked. The answer, it seems, lies in the growing resentment toward the ultra-wealthy, especially when they descend on fragile cities like Venice with private jets and entourages that reek of privilege. The wedding itself? Opulent. Extravagant. Possibly costing upwards of $40 million, depending on the source. But this wasn't just any destination ceremony. This was Jeff Bezos, net worth estimated at $238 billion, hosting a celebration in a city literally sinking under the weight of climate change and over-tourism. Locals didn't stay silent. Early protests included signs that read, "No space for Bezos," and, "If you can rent Venice for your wedding, you can pay more tax." But by June 25, frustration reached boiling point with the symbolic canal toss. Photos of the act went mega viral. One comment summed it up, "The Venetians have taken these protests to an art form." Absolutely sensational stuff. Meanwhile, Lauren Sánchez, wearing designer couture, stepped onto a boat, smiling and waving to, who, exactly? Supporters? Protesters? Cameras? No one really knows. But the internet noticed. It's so tone-deaf that all of these pictures show them waving and smiling, to people who hate them, one Reddit user said. Another quipped, "Not her waving at the peasants." There was irony in every image. Lauren's pristine wedding dress gracing the cover of Vogue, while just outside the palazzo, the streets buzzed with unrest. Guests arrived via water taxis, dressed in couture. Oprah, Kim Kardashian, Leonardo DiCaprio. All attending an event protested for its environmental hypocrisy, as many of these very stars champion climate justice online. And what about city officials? In a move that shocked many, Venice's City Hall came to Bezos' defense, telling NBC News that the protests are in no way representative of the majority of citizens, who are proud that Venice has been chosen as the wedding location. But the images tell a different story. The tension in the air. The signs. The symbolic drowning of capitalist excess. This wasn't just a wedding. It was a battleground of values. On one side, wealth flaunted like never before. On the other, a desperate cry for accountability, justice, and common sense. The protesters didn't bring Molotovs or violence. They brought art, symbolism, and a dummy so eerily lifelike in message that it may haunt Bezos' public image for longer than any headline. At the center of it all stood a question many still ask: if you have $238 billion and choose to spend it on rockets, weddings, and media empires instead of alleviating real human suffering, how do you sleep at night? How do you smile and wave at protesters demanding dignity? It's easy to dismiss this as theater. But when an entire city rises up, throws your likeness into the water, and calls for justice, maybe it's time to listen. Let us know in the comments, is this the ultimate example of tone-deaf wealth, or just the cost of being famous in 2025?